SEO tutorials for beginners in 2019. Let's go and see some tips and tricks for better search engine optimizing your website built on WordPress. If you're using popular plugins such as Yoast for tweaking up your website for SEO, then under general settings, under features, you can basically disable everything here except XML sitemaps. XML sitemaps, the ones that you submit to Google, will allow Google to better understand the structure of your website and thus crawl it more efficiently. When you submit sitemaps to Google, submit post sitemap, page sitemap, if you're running WooCommerce, product sitemap as well. Because doing so will allow you to avoid many index coverage issues. So therefore, instead of submitting sitemap_index, which is the parent sitemap, instead of submitting that to Search Console, submit post and page for WooCommerce product as well. Also, let's press on archives. Now, let's imagine this scenario. This is Yoast plugin, and these settings are wrong. Because by default, it may have this disabled. So if you're tweaking this, not knowing what you should be doing here, should you show these in search? Should you enable it, disable it, and so on, right? I'll show you what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Author archives, have it enabled. If you're the only publisher on your website, then show author archives in search results, select no. Date archive settings, have it enabled, show date archives in search results, select no, and then save changes. Let me actually disable these to show you what Yoast does without you knowing. Now, the way WordPress works, it creates taxonomies, just different sections of a WordPress content management system. So it does this automatically. So let me refresh this year-based archive. That means this URL shows all the posts published in 2019. Since I had author archives disabled, date archives disabled, this is a date archive. Let's refresh the page and see where it goes. Look where it went. It went to my homepage. Now, most people will disagree, saying, "Oh, you know what? Yoast is an SEO plugin, they know what's going on." This is very wrong. It's wrong because of the way Google evaluates links. Now, author archive is the same. That's an author archive here. Let's refresh. Because I have it disabled in Yoast, this goes to the home page as well. What if you have 2, 3, 4 different authors? Then you may have it enabled and show those results in Google search. Yeah, SEO tutorials for beginners, then this is the lesson that I need to share with you. All the content on any part of your website, whether it's pages, posts, product, and so on, you rank for uniqueness in Google. That means date archives have nothing unique in them. Right? So date archive, let's go. Month archive, tags, categories. Ask yourself this simple question. Here, look, it's all going to the home page, right? First of all, that's wrong. So your settings by default is wrong. Because my home page should not be, using 2019 as a keyword to link to. So once again, have author archives enabled, show author archives in search, select no. That's the correct settings. Date archives, have it enabled, show date archives in search, have it no here. So enable date archives and select no. This is very important. Let's save changes. Now let's go and see what happens. Instead of those links going to my home page, they will go to their rightful URLs. Now, because we have selected show date archives in search and we selected no, Yoast plugin will blurt out no index tag. That means Google will be able to crawl this URL and yet will not place the content it finds in its index. And that's exactly what you want, because there is nothing unique here. You don't want this URL to be in Google's index. Okay? So those two important settings, I don't believe many people know how to really tweak this up. But now you do. Let's go and see what else you need to focus on. In 2019, mobile first index, that means it's all about mobile. How your website renders, how it looks, how people interact with it on a mobile device is called mobile first index. That means Google looks at a site in terms of how it looks on a mobile. You can press on F12 using Chrome. You can grab this arrow key and then select this mobile device icon. Here you can experiment, as in select different settings to say, okay, you know what, how does my website look on iPhone 6 in this example? And Web Developer Toolbar will show you how it looks. So you can scroll up, down, and so on. Okay, and iPad, you may have or not have iPad, but this is how the site will look in iPad, right? So use that tool. Another lesson that I can share with you is navigational links are important, correct? Well, if that's the case, WordPress gives you screen options, title attribute, and then you can actually place keywords within the title attribute, right? So here, SEO, I can say SEO, or I can even say search engine optimization. Those two words in terms of Google, how it understands keywords, it's basically very related. But someone who's visiting this website of mine may hover over this link and they may not understand what SEO, the keyword SEO means. So therefore I can use title attributes to place information about what's on the other side of that link. Mainly, your main navigation structure will have important keywords. Contact page, don't try and spam Google. Make sense? In this example, I shouldn't be saying contact SEO. It doesn't make sense. It just says contact. That's a contact page. But nonetheless, since it's available, use title attributes. Let me also expand on SEO Tutorials 2019 blog post. If you haven't read it, you may want to read about it, because within it I've shared something that I believe is absolutely important, and that is this. Let's imagine I want to rank for this, and let's imagine you want to rank for certain keywords, because same principles apply for you as well. Let me create a new blog post. When you create new blog post, try to find longer tail keywords. Here I can see SEO tutorials for beginners step by step. Maybe I want to create content accordingly, knowing that longer tail keywords are more easier to rank rather than shorter keywords. For, let's say, beginners 2018, let's go 2019, knowing that people will definitely search for that as well in 2019. It's just the start of the year, and it's very easy to rank that, right? So these are my long tail keywords now. Bear with me because it'll make sense in terms of how you meant to use linking. SEO tutorials for beginners. Here I've got SEO tutorials 2019. And you may ask yourself, you know what, those two blog posts sound similar. Well, I can actually make it unique if I want, but still rank for those keywords. Okay, so I can do this as well if I want. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't matter as long as the content is useful and unique, right? So let's tag it quickly. Let's say SEO, search engine optimization. Let's say how to lesson tutorials. These are tags. Now I'm not going to bore you. Description, I can further put information there. Let's grab some lorem ipsum text, dummy text. Let's grab this. Let's put more. Okay. Since this will be the main title, let's do something like this. Here I would place this in heading 2. I can even say lessons. Okay, must use SEO tutorials for beginners in 2019. Now, I'm expanding this tutorial I'm expanding this tutorial because within it let's go heading 3. Now, in this scenario, let's grab these 3 words. Let's place one in there. Let's remove the unordered list. And let's do this. Once again, this is how you're meant to think of internal linking. Any links on any website, Google evaluates. And since blog posts allow you to create links within your content, then I can grab this URL, copy it, and use these keywords to link to. But look what I'm targeting specifically here. I'm targeting SEO tutorials 2019. Here it's search engine optimization tutorials. The keyword tutorials is the same here. And yet this isn't. And yet it is similar word. Here on the second block I can go and say, okay, tutorials 2019. This for demonstration purposes. I would not link 3 links going back to this URL coming from one blog post. It wouldn't be smart. I would just link perhaps 1. Let's also link this. Okay, let me just show you this. 1 word. That's 1 word. Also, let me then take you one step further. SEO tutorials for, let's say, 2019. Now, in terms of links and their power, this here, SEO tutorials 2019, will obviously make more sense because it uses the keywords that I'm targeting, right? So this is the mistake most SEO experts make. So if you read information about internal linking, your main structure, yes, you have your money-making keywords there, absolutely. But within the content of your blog post, each blog post that you create don't end up using the same keywords to link. That's not smart. But rather use related words as in synonyms. You can use one or two words. You can use a single word if you want. Let's imagine you're a locksmith in Houston. Your blog post about top 10 places to visit in Houston. Now you may think, well, that's got nothing to do with locksmithing. It doesn't matter. As long as you create content people are searching for, top 10 places to visit in Houston, perhaps people who want to go for holidays want to search for those keywords. It doesn't matter. As long as you bring people and give them the content that they're looking for. At that example, they don't have to become your customer, right? But you can use that blog post to bring people, give them some information that they find useful, which is great. They may not even be living in Houston. But within that content, you can then say something like this as an example. We'd love to show you around our lovely state called Houston, as an example. And you can use that keyword called Houston to link to your money-making page, which may be named as locksmith, emergency locksmith in Houston. That's the money-making page. You can use that one single keyword to link to that page. You can use that one single keyword to link to your homepage, perhaps from your next blog post. You can use that one single keyword to link to your contact page. Diversify linking. You can use one word, two word, three word, four word, 5, 6 word, and so on. But surely this type of link wouldn't be smart, right? Yeah, linking the whole paragraph, right? So, expanding on this is what I try to explain in terms of linking. Because blog posts are absolutely important, they give you an option to better control which keywords you want Google to rank your website for. As in, which keywords are more important than the rest. And you do that by using these techniques. Also, if you're using WordPress, press on text, and within links you can actually put a space after A and say title equals double quote, and let's say a keyword. Let me show you another tutorial for beginners, right? That's a title. That means if I preview the post and hover over this link here that I've created, Tutorials 2019, look what happens. There's a keyword there, right? Now ask yourself, what is on the other end? On the other end is SEO Tutorials 2019. So right now I can say, okay, let me place that keyword. So I could do that. For demonstration purposes, as I've said, I wouldn't link 3 links to that page coming from one single blog post, but rather just link one, right? So let's not get confused, but on the next one, here it says SEO. That's the anchor text. I could easily do this. Title equals SEO on that link. Or I could say search engine optimization. As your site grows and the more blog posts, as the more content that you create, will have, will give you more opportunity to have more links. And it's by using those links intelligently, including the text that you use to link with, and the title attribute of that link, you can further guide search engines like Google to better understand your content, and as a result, better rank your content. And if you consider what's really going on here, you can see that this blog post is somehow related to this one here. So therefore, the links that I use within it surely will be related to similar subject. Make sense? So these are the core insights that not many people will be able to explain to you. Nonetheless, blog posts are absolutely a must. If you're not using them, that means you're not growing your business and your website, and your competitors are, and that's not what you want. You want to get in there, use these techniques. Use keywords in headings, they are very important. Utilize links within the content chunk. Knowing the higher the content is more important. So this particular link here will be more important than this one here. And it will be more important than this one and this one. So once again, the higher the content is more important for Google. That includes keywords, images that is higher than the rest is more important, including links. So therefore, the first chunk, second chunk, you want to start using some important keywords of yours, knowing that you create content for your website visitors, which are real people in their best interest. But when you create the content, you use words intelligently, in a more natural manner, understanding that guiding Google is also important. Furthermore, don't make an honest mistake by, using target equals new tab and all that stuff, right? Or new window and so on. Don't do that. If you've placed a link here, that means you want people to click on it. If that's the case, just let people click on it and go to that URL. Okay, don't try and open them in a new tab. It just creates bad user experience, particularly in 2019 when people are using their mobile devices more and more. Now, whether when you analyze your website, you end up seeing that, you know what, not many people use their mobile devices to visit my website, therefore I shouldn't optimize my website for mobile. That's not how it works right now, right? It's mobile first index. That means your website has to be optimized for mobile usability. And these search engine optimization tutorials for beginners, I believe, will definitely help you to grow your business tapping into Google organic rankings. Once again, let me quickly wrap it up. WordPress, Yoast SEO plugin, general features, just have sitemap enabled, the rest is just wasting your time. Post sitemap, page sitemap, product sitemap, if you're running WooCommerce, are important. They're the sitemaps you individually submit to Google to avoid index coverage issues. Next, archive settings, have it enabled, show author archives in search, select no. If you're running community website, forum website where people contribute original content, then you may want to show those results in search, right? So only then you have that, select yes. Apart from that, date archives as well, have it enabled, show date archives in search, select no. This is very important settings. Save changes. Then go and see your menu structure, because menus are absolutely important. So screen options give you option for title attribute. You can press on the triangle icon to expand the menu and then place title attribute. That's for the main navigation. Then the content that you create, the longer the keyword that you're targeting, is easier to rank in Google. Not only that, you can use those individual blog posts to guide Google as to what a particular URL you're linking to is all about. And don't make an honest mistake to keep repeating the same keywords that you want to rank for. Because if you do that, that's not natural. And mainly SEO experts who don't understand how things work, they end up spamming Google by using links in anchor text, whether internal or external. And Google evaluates all that, and it can work out what is natural. What is natural is you end up using similar words, you end up linking in a natural language, and you don't just keep repeating the same keywords when you're linking through your blog posts or your pages. the body section. Okay, but nonetheless, you have to use these type of linking structures, knowing that links also have title, attribute. So spending that extra minute when you're creating content to place title, it's only smart. You don't need to use the same keywords over and over again. As I've said, you can change keywords. SEO Tutorials 2019, whereby the text is different, as you can see, and yet the title is different. So therefore, when someone reads through this, think of accessibility, because that's important. If someone hovers over it, look what it shows to them. So screen readers can read that out loud. That means someone can read that without even pressing on it. They can understand, on the other side of this link, there's content related to SEO Tutorials 2019. And yet the link is Tutorials 2019. But remember, Google evaluates keywords individually. And it can evaluate the keywords in this chunk, and then it can also evaluate this keyword as well. And then, because we're guiding Google, it can then say, obviously this link points to something to do with SEO tutorials, instead of just Tutorials 2019. By itself, it doesn't mean anything. When Google evaluates the text near it, it can work that out, say, it seems that there's text about this going here. And then the title shows another keyword called SEO. Comes here to this URL, it evaluates the entire HTML. Start looking at the URL. That's an important signal for website users, because when a visitor looks at this, it can say, it's obviously SEO Tutorials 2019. Google does the same thing. Heading 1 says SEO Tutorials, reconfirms the keyword. The image itself, when naming them intelligently, feature image for SEO Tutorials 2019 blog post. The headings, always designed for people first, but then some keywords are sprinkled within it. And that's the mastery. Continue doing that on your own website, whether it's a small business website or an e-commerce site. Understanding the fact that you don't just need to create blog posts just about your own industry. Make sense? In the example of, let's say, locksmith in Melbourne, I could have easily created a content, top 5 places to visit in Melbourne this summer, 2019. As an example, use the keyword Melbourne to link to my money-making pages if I was a locksmith in Melbourne. These insights are not going to be taught by many SEO experts, because they don't understand how things work regarding Google rankings like RankYa does. I thank you very much for learning with me. If you benefited from this video session, please do give it a like, and I'll talk with you in the next video session.